This an all-out blitz, real hard hits, them other podcast trash, we gon' make them all quit. We cover all the topics with intelligence and logic. I know you wanna score, but ID gon' stop it. We from Texas, so that mean that we Texans. Breaking down the X's and O's, our profession. No complaining, just training, you see the progression. They had a Pro Bowl for talk shows, we get selected. We gon' celebrate every win like a birthday. Ray J with the news, first with all the updates. Spin move on the competition, yeah, we juking them. You not really in touch if you not tuning in. This is Crenshaw, Briggs and VT. We want the touchdown, we not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they bout to stampede.
Houston Texans, what up?
What up?
What up?
What up?
What up?
What up?
Hey!
Yo, 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 what up, what up? Welcome to the Texans Fan Battle Podcast. I'm your host for the night, Crenshaw. We got a special guest tonight. Before we get off into him, let me introduce my amazing trio. We got Matthew Briggs over here. Say what's up to the folks.
What it do, fellas? What it do?
And we used to call him the legend of space and Reddick, but we'll call him the 6'10 legend. We got Brown Chubby Bear over here.
Getting a shout out going on there.
What's going on, guys?
All right, special guest tonight, man. We got the youngest NFL player of all time. We got a Louisville great, a Cardinals great, a Houston Texans great. We got Amobi Okoye.
What's up? Glad to be back, man. Glad to be back.
All right, man. Welcome back to the show, man.
Appreciate. Thanks for having me on.
All right. So we'll go for NFL news. What's cooking, VT, on NFL news?
So the Titans have released Randy Bullock. They released the left tackle as well. So they actually freed up around $40 million so far, and that seems to me that pretty much looking like they're spend some money in free agency. So they let go of Cunningham as well. So there's a few dudes that they're just saying, "Hey, peace out." So if they're spending money in free agency, they're going to be a competitor in our division about trying to get some guys.
Or they
Okay.
know that they're in a rebuild on one of the two.
Okay. So, Amobi, have you been keeping up what Tennessee's been doing today with all the cuts and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think they're trying to make up from the loss of AJ Green. I mean, AJ Brown. Look at the impact he had with the Eagles and all the way to the Super Bowl. So yeah, apparently, didn't they fire their whole front office right after they made that trade? So, they're trying to make up for that, and I don't blame them. I would be trying to do the same.
Especially after everything that came out, like the owner told the GM, break the bank on him, and he came back and I think only offered what was like $15 million.
Right.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then the GM said it was all made him look like he was a diva, but in limelight, he really wasn't a diva. He was just trying to get what he's worth.
Exactly, and it was worth every penny, of course, as he proved it.
So can we all say that their trade was worse than a D-Hop trade?
Ooh. I don't know. We can go that far. Obviously, they're when they sent AJ Brown over there, they obviously sent the Eagles to a Super Bowl appearance. But I don't think it's worse than the D-Hop trade. The D-Hop trade is still worse, but I will say what's worse than D-Hop trade? The Russell Wilson trade.
I mean, you can kind of say it's close, man. Like, yeah, DeAndre hasn't had a season like he's had with like he did with the Texans, with the Cardinals. So I mean, he has not played to his standard yet. But
Speaking of him, do y'all see him being with the Cardinals next season?
No.
Me neither.
I live up here in Kansas City, and there's a lot of steam of the Chiefs trying to trade because they got 12 draft picks, and so I heard that they're trying to make a trade for DeAndre Hopkins. So
Man, if he goes to Kansas City, I don't want to watch football no more, man.
right, like, that's a wrap.
Yeah, come on. He need to go somewhere else, man. Go. I'd rather for him to go to Dallas than go to Kansas City because I know Dallas ain't gonna do nothing. So go to Dallas. So with the cap space, Moby, could you see Tennessee trying to get their car?
I mean, at this point in time, I mean, I'll be trying to go for everybody because Tannehill right here, he ain't been the answer. So, if I were them, yeah, I would be, because you still got Henry and the running back shelf. I mean, they play longer nowadays, but still, you want to kind of maximize that now and make up for that AJ Brown trade. So, release or let go, whatever you want to call it. If I was them, yeah, I'll go in. I'll try to get whomever, but I'll try to go get what's his name in discount double check.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, they got the draft capital. They could.
Yeah, they could make some noise. Okay, so what Sundays ago we had the Super Bowl. Moby, did you watch it?
I did, man. I happened to be overseas visiting the troops, man. Part of this group, Pro Blitz tour. They do it quite a bit, and we're in Portugal, Spain, and Italy. And Italy was the last stop, and that's where we watched the game. It was cool, man. I was definitely going for the Eagles. Yeah, but they let me down.
So, do you think that last holding call cost them the game, or you think something before that cost them the game?
I think the first fumble by Hurts, I think that hurt him. I mean, he made up for it after, but that gave Kansas City life because they got points after that, I think. Or was that when
they ran for a touchdown? Yeah, you're
right, exactly. It started building momentum. The momentum swung. Like, even though Hurts made up for it after, it still hurt them. Like, take that turnover away, I think they win the game.
And we were right. It gave Kansas City a spark, right? Like, I mean, they couldn't stop Jalen Hurts.
Exactly.
And then as soon as that happened, it looked like Patrick Mahomes says, "All right, here's my chance."
So I got to bring this up because we saw dudes slipping all over the place, right? And I'm not going to make an excuse for the Eagles, but obviously the Eagles' defense does concentrate on pass rush, and you saw both dudes slipping over. Both ends.
I just knew Reddick was at least going to have 2 sacks that game.
And nothing. And so slipping definitely was an issue. Now, the last throw by Hurts also, where people were making fun of that throw, if you look at that a little slowly, you could see that he wasn't able to plant his foot down. So, I mean, you could say that was another slip issue. And the fumble, I contribute a little bit of that too as well. Now, of course, at the end of the day, he's responsible for not controlling that football, not securing it. But that field definitely played a part in the result of that game. Lack of pressure on Mahomes, lack of just being able to put your foot down when you're trying to throw. From a Hurt standpoint. Now, obviously, Mahomes had to deal with that as well. But the point is that
and a bum ankle.
And a bum ankle. That's true. So, I'm not saying that the Eagles were gypped by any means. I'm not even going to say that the refs gypped them because at the end of the day, the defense is what collapsed. That's really what happened. But it would be amiss to not talk about the fact that the field, they spent $800,000 or something on that field alone, right? And
do they still roll it in?
I'm sorry?
Do they still roll it in?
Yeah, they rolled it in. They were developing for 2 years, and basically that's really what it comes down to is that they had a shit field, and that's what we saw. The best sport in this country, and the biggest game in this country was on a field that they didn't test properly.
Because everybody wants to do away with turf, right? I mean, that all the injuries. I'm Amobi used to know, that turf it just eats up ankles and knees, and so people want to get rid of it, but the NFL doesn't because of one reason, and it's cheap. And so, is it a conspiracy? Maybe, but to me, it just seems like the NFL says, "Okay, you want this grass? Well, let's get this grass where nobody can make a move. You're slipping and sliding, so that way." But who knows? Who knows the real answer? It's the NFL,
Yeah, it's
You
just
can't get the truth.
I know for a fact when I played, I preferred regular grass than turf. Like just I mean, you feel fast on the turf and all, but the feeling after when you get during it was just while you playing, it's not good. So yeah, I rather have that natural grass.
But before we do move on, I do want to say something about all these fans who want to give credit to the referees and it's the referees on the Chiefs side. Look, I hate the Chiefs. I'm in Chiefs country. I have to hear it all the time. It drives me nuts. But yes, the referees played a big hand in a lot of these games this year. The referee in the NFL period has been bad. But this game, I mean, it's hard to make a claim. The Chiefs had 16 penalties to the Eagles 6. It was just like a mobile you were taught, right? In high school, college, and the pros. Don't let the game be decided by the referees, right? I mean, that's what it came down to. And also another fun fact: the referees that officiated that game, all the games that they officiated against the Chiefs, this was the second game they won. So that tells you.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I mean, could it have not been called? Yes, but it was called. The only thing really changed was the time possession, and like VT said, the playing field was terrible. The Chiefs defense showed up in that last quarter, so who knows what the last drive when the Eagles went to score, to tie it up, it took 6 minutes. So who knows if they could have scored in a minute and 30 seconds. So quit blaming the like we said, it was the defense. Quit blaming the refs. Congratulations, Chiefs. I hate to say it.
Okay, so you bring the rev, so that's a perfect segue to this next topic, the Dallas Cowboys.
Going from one team I hate to another team I hate. Perfect. Love
it. And VT, let the people that don't know what's going on with the Cowboys right now.
So the Cowboys are statistically the most delusional fan base by numbers. So there was a chart on a survey of all the different fan bases, and the Cowboys were number one in the belief that the NFL was scripted and that the referees are against them. Number one. Who's last? The Jets. So it's funny that the Jets just kind of realize, hey, we suck, and that's basically it. The refs aren't fucking with us. But the Cowboys are like, we should be great, but the refs are against us. So we always knew the Cowboys were the most delusional, and now we have mathematical data to back that up.
Well, I would say, I mean, the dead catch was a catch. I would say that.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I hate to say it, but yeah, as Cowboy fans was correct on that one.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, all right. So no for the that right there. We're gonna jump to NFL. I'm sorry, Texans news. So Amobi, we've discussed coach hire and everything, but let's hear from you. You played with this guy. We got you in the intro video, hype video, and everything. Let us know how Coach was in the huddle, the locker room, just his presence, and like things that the fans don't know about him that you know personally about Coach.
Well, DeMeco, that's he obviously was drafted the class before me, and I obviously was a fan of him at Alabama and in college, and I obviously became teammates in here in Houston. And I've always we called him captain because he was always the captain. We always he was a good leader, and then when it just came to the X and O's of the game, he also knew that, And so when we let go of Lovey, I was just like, man, we have to go after DeMeco. That's the only thing that makes sense, and I'm so glad we did because so things about to turn around. Things about to turn around.
Okay. Have you been keeping up with the like the staff and everything we just hired on the offense and defensive side?
Well, I won't say I've been keeping up, but I'm aware of it. Especially I want my boy Franco Cam to get the D line coach job. So if at least assistant defensive line or the actual D line, either or, I think that'll be good because he obviously played here as well.
Okay. So you're in favor of like bringing in like ex players to coach and everything, like maybe like Andre Johnson, wide receiver coach, or maybe some front office role.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that I mean, a lot of all these other organizations, if you notice, they hire from within, like especially like people that have been there before, and I think it only helps but build the morale of the organization itself, and just knowing that once a Texan, always a Texan. So it'll be good if we can do that.
Well, can I
Okay.
just ask a quick
Yeah,
question?
I was just about to go to you, VT. What you got?
So, you talk about coaching, and I know that you actually started, coaching a while back, right? I know it was at a lower level, obviously, with kids and stuff. But, you know, this is actually a broader question because you seem to always overachieve, right? Like even in your younger years, you skipped grades back home, and then even here when you came to um, Houston. I'm sorry, Alabama. So you always overachieved. You overachieved when you were the youngest um, um, draftee. And now I just gotta wonder: do you think there's more left in the football world for you in terms of coaching experience? You have done that on a lower level, and you've done so much. Do you think there's any chance that we could see, because you're still young, that you could come out and actually coach in the NFL?
I haven't ruled it out. I haven't totally ruled it out, honestly. But it's just one of those things. Like my heart has to lead me to it because it's not for everybody. That coaching. Everybody thinks once you're a player, it's so much easier to transition to a coach, but it really isn't. Some of the best coaches are ones that didn't actually play. To be honest with you, and so I haven't ruled it out. I haven't ruled it out, and I'm just never know, man. You never know. You might see me over there, so we shall see.
We're gonna make a petition. Make Amobi a coach. All right, get it out there. We're gonna speak it into reality. Amobi.
Hey,
Yeah,
that
that's what's
yeah.
up. That's what's up. I mean,
Hey, that
I suppose, I'm always going to be involved with the organization itself. That's my team. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm when when Lovey got let go, I was quite upset because I played for Lovey before, and I know the type of coach he is, and I know what he can really have done. But I looked up to the brighter side. I was like, well, DeMeco might probably be available, and if we get him, we have to get him, and it happened, and man, I know I'm just excited as any other fan.
okay. VT, that was a great question right there. We definitely got to get that petition going. Um, so the draft coming up, in a couple of months, and we got a number 2 pick. Who would you select at the number 2 pick, Amobi?
We got to go quarterback. We have to go quarterback. David Mills is. I'm a fan of his, and I believe in him. But it's a business, and we need a spark. We need a whole new change, and we need every good team that's won the Super Bowl has a franchise quarterback, or at least have one that they're working on. So I really think that's we have to go quarterback, man. CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, which whatever two is available, you gotta scoop one of those and go with it.
Okay, so speaking of Bryce Young, we all see his frame, his size, and you've been a former defensive tackle. Seeing that, does that make you like, oh, I'm about to, get him, or you
Licking
think,
chops.
you looking chops, or you be like, it's not a issue. What would you think?
I, the game is definitely different in college and pros, like without a doubt. And he's going to mature. Like he's still a kid. He's still, he's going to grow. Look at KD when he it's two different sports. Look at KD when he first came to the league. He was frail and I don't think he's going to even bench 125, right? It was like something like that. But now his body has changed. So it's I'm not a I don't see any negative in that. I think that he's going to get in, and nowadays with technology and the change in training, it's not going to be an issue.
Okay.
Let me rebut that because I have a question about that. So I'm a big proponent of saying that we should draft CJ Stroud versus Bryce Young, particularly because of his frame. And one of my concerns is that he was in one of the best organizations in the country, right? Being in Alabama, and he was only able to put on a few pounds. Right? They have some of the best nutritionists there. They have some of the best trainers there. And my concern is that we are an organization that has only won 7 games in the past 2 years. The past 3 years, we really haven't done well. Why would we risk putting our organization on the back of someone that potentially is 5'10" and 195 pounds when there's a 6'3", 220-pound quarterback that is super precise, that has worked in great conditions, that could come to Houston and actually perform and not have those concerns about what could happen long term and his durability? Why go Bryce over CJ Stroud?
I mean, honestly, I'm a firm believer of measurables. I mean, like they go a long way in evaluating talent, but the true heart of a player is everything. For example, Elvis Dumervil, who I played college ball with, barely 6 foot tall, but could rush the heck out of a passer, and play that defensive end position. So I don't necessarily see measurables of size as a positive negative when it comes to the NFL. As long as you have the heart and willing to work on your on the craft, mastering your craft, you're going to be good. So that's why I am for Bryce.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Another guy, speaking of NBA, the Greek Freak, he was small, and look at him now.
Exactly.
But yeah. But I mean, I'm a Bryce guy too. I mean, we get CJ, I wouldn't be upset. CJ, I just feel like Bryce reads the field better than CJ does.
Can't go wrong with either or.
Yeah, yeah. So I won't be mad. Okay. VT, we pretty good on the Texans news.
Well, I mean, I guess in Texas news, we do have some breaking news, right? We just hired
Offensive line.
an assistant O line. So I wasn't even familiar with him. He wasn't even on my radar at all. But this is a guy that worked at the Patriots. So I know we're going to hear some people say, "Oh no, it's Patriots South over here." But the guy, his name is Cole Popovich. He was the assistant O line coach, and he was on the Colts offensive line. I'm sorry, he was on the Patriots offensive line. Now we have the Colts guy, Chris Strasser. So this guy is going to be the assistant offensive line coach, but he's worked at, like I said, at the Patriots. He's worked at Troy. There's not a hell of a lot that I know about him besides he's got Patriots links and therefore links to Nick. But some more help, I think, would be helpful. And the only thing that I want to make sure is that this was a DeMeco hire more than anything else, but we won't know for a while. And while I have the mic, do you mind if I just talk about the Lowell incident? I'm going to call it the Lowell incident, which is why I was on 610 this morning, and get your both of your feedback on what happened.
Go ahead, freestyle.
Okay, so so you mentioned this in earlier in the broadcast that 610 gave me a shout out. Shout out to Landry Locker of 610, and and also if you haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel, The Locker Room, go ahead and do that. So the Lowell father and son team, they came up with a video, and their video was that DeMeco was going to essentially fail. The thumbnail was DeMeco with the word saying doomed, and Landry Locker basically sent this to me around midnight. He basically said that, hey, I know that you're probably just talking on space or not to do things, so check out this video. So I did. He said it's gonna make you angry. I'm like, all right. He knows I'm a bit of a typing machine when I get angry, so I watched it. What they said was that DeMeco Ryans will fail for I'll tell you the following reasons. One is because he doesn't have a lot of connections. According to them, they believe that because he didn't have the connections outside of the 49ers the way that other head coaches have, because they went around to different franchises, that he would suffer. He also thinks that Bobby Slowick was going to fail because he's never called a play before. So essentially, those were the things why he thought he was going to fail. And then they brought his credibility and his person into the matter, which I found disturbing and gave him a peace of mind for it. They said that, which I believe is wrong. They said that George Warhop was a great offensive line coach. In fact, they said one of the best in the NFL. What? I have no idea why they said that. And then they said that DeMeco did him wrong because George Wahop was a black O-line coach, and they fired him and brought in a white O-line coach. And that DeMeco did him wrong by not letting him get another job, when we all know publicly that Nick said that he told every single person on the staff, that include George Warhop, that if they could get another job to go ahead and get it, because they didn't know what was going to happen, and that was prior to them hiring DeMeco. So I just summarized everything, and I want to know, tell me how angry you are about this, or if you're not. But I mean, I was super, super angry.
Taking the Moby.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you hire a head coach, like, he's going to want to bring in his own staff. Like, at the end of the day, it's every win and loss is going to be predicated on what he does and who he has working for him. So, I'm when it comes to that, I'm with, let the head coach bring whoever he wants. Like, let him do that. Like if the person ends up failing, it's on him. If the person ends up doing good, it's on him. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Bring your guys. Put it like this: that guy, his what he said need to be pinned. So when we make him look like a fool, we'll come back and get on him. All Texans fans just troll him hard. That's how I feel about that. Did he go this hard for the other coaches? So how he just assume DeMeco don't have connections? So Shane Steichen's got connections like that? I mean, come on now. But it is what it is.
Not to mention that DeMeco also played on the Eagles. So to say that, what about his playing career, right? So his playing career on the Texans, his playing career on the Eagles, that should amount to something, right? It's not just because he only coached as a 49ers doesn't mean he doesn't have connections. And secondly, you don't know how many connections the brotherhood of just being an NFL player has. I'm sure, Amobi, you could probably say that, right? So
without doubt, you. I mean, just from all the way stemming from high school, like a lot of these players, you interacted with some way or some fashion through high school, through college, to the pros. So it's just because he was tenured on one team for a long time doesn't mean anything.
Oh yeah, and then March 15th is going to show how much of brotherhood, how much connections he has, because those free agents will be here in Houston, and we're gonna make some noise. So we pretty much. Oh, matter of fact, I got one NFL news. So Amobi, how did you feel when Eric Bieniemy finally got a job, not a head coaching job, but offensive coordinator job? How did you feel about that?
Like job's not finished. It's sweet, it's good and all, but he should be a head coach job. He should be a head coach somewhere, man. Like, come on now, this man, his resume speaks for it all, and so like he should be a head coach somewhere. That's point blank period. So I felt like his job was not well done, but I guess baby steps. Because I see the whole point of this because just let him get out the shadow of Andy Reid, and that way he just prove and show that it's even though it was with Andy, like he had impact, and so at the end of the day he should be a head coach somewhere. But this is a good next step.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you've seen Shady McCoy on TV talking about Eric as a former player. Do you think that was just too far, or he has some truth to what he was saying? What do you think?
Well, I don't know the context of exactly what he said. I have to go back and check it out. But man, it's everything. This is the media. He's in that atmosphere now. He has to create content. So I get it.
Yeah, it makes sense because we start clicking on it, we start watching it, other people start watching it, comment on it, and get a show ratings and everything.
Yeah, it's part of the game. I get it.
Yeah, okay. So I think we pretty much wrapped up NFL and Texas news, right, VT?
Yeah, for NFL Texas news, we can get to the other segments.
Okay, so right now, this is a segment that we all love, and that's ask the guests some questions. And we're going to start with VT since Matt is having technical difficulties right now. VT, ask the question that you want to add to Amobi.
So I was aware of some of the challenges that you had to face when you got sick, but it wasn't until recently where it was impressed upon me how severe everything was and what you had to do in order to come back. And my biggest question is, you had to be induced with a medically induced coma. You had to learn how to walk. What was the driving force that made you say, I'm not just going to come back strong, I'm going to come back and play football again?
Well, I think it's just that inner, athleticism or that trait you have that once an athlete it's just in you, and so. Actually, this is coming up. March 15th is coming up, the 10-year anniversary of the illness. I'll be going to Boston to just do like a 10-year follow up with my doctor, just to document the whole thing. And when I was like my personality when I was going through it, it didn't seem like I went through something. It really took me some time to really actually accept that I actually went through what I went through. So for me, it was just it felt like more so of even though it was mental, but more was a physical injury, and I just felt like I needed to get back out there, So that was what I guess pushed me, because I took that approach to it. Like it wasn't more of a mental, it was more of a physical thing. Just get your body right, and you can get back out there and play. But it definitely wasn't that. It was more mental, and so that's why the career got cut short.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it was, it was real sad. The one that got me, you woke up and you thought it was still May 15th, but it was August, and that's the part that really got me. And and then you lost a lot of weight and everything. Could you see yourself maybe trying to turn this into a mini series or a movie or something? Because it's a great story from where you was born, and how you graduated college real early. Like this is great TV right here. You ever thought about that?
No, without a doubt. I mean, even prior to the illness happening, I've always felt like I guess God has this unique life he had for me, and I needed to tell the world about it. And so I plan on eventually doing, writing a book or doing some kind of movie or something, and just in regards to my life. And so the illness and battling it and beating it, just adds more layer to it. So, so down the road, without a doubt, I plan on doing a book, doing a movie, doing something, just to continue to tell the whole world, what I went through, and know that, there's a God out there that He's definitely got our back.
For sure. Matt, you back with us?
Yeah, sorry about that technical difficulties. Sam's voodoo rubbed up on me, so my internet service is like the Jaguars. It's straight.
Hey, quickly, I didn't know if we were going to talk about this, but have you guys been keeping up with the XFL?
Oh yeah.
We're
still undefeated.
Yes. Hey,
Roughnecks.
It's some good talent out there, man.
Yeah.
Like what I saw this first week, to be honest with you, I feel like it's better talent than the Canadian League.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was definitely better than USFL. I'll tell you that for sure. I mean, Danucci looked really good. Honestly, I was pretty impressed by him. But as far as the Roughnecks are concerned, Max Borgi looks really good. I want to bring him on. I mean, I know we worked him out last year. I don't know why he didn't make the squad, but Max Borgi was looking amazing.
I honestly think it's in real good hands, and I think The Rock spearheading it was the perfect calling, because I can really see it. Like I see a lot of growth. I see the NFL adopting a lot of stuff from it and applying it to the NFL, just like they did when the first XFL was, and the first USFL and all that. Yeah, I can see that happening, because the product I saw on the field this past weekend was top notch. I'm definitely going to be going to games.
Did you like how the whole way they're making extra points, that you have to throw from 1, 2, and 3?
I do like that. I like it. It spices it up, and it's like try we should try it out, and you can always go back. That's the you can always change the rules every year. You know what I'm saying? So why not give these a try, give that a try, and just shake things up a little bit.
And I'll say one more thing about the XFL, the rules. So there was a game where it looked like it was over, right? But because of the rules, not only were they able to hit a three, but they were able to, instead of an onside kick, they were able to say, "Oh, we got to convert on a 4th and 15."
Yep, I saw that.
And because they converted on a 4th and 15, they're able to win that game. So when you watch an XFL game, you don't have to think anymore like, "Oh, there's no chance."
Yes, you're never down. There's opportunities to really come back. That's
exactly. So basically, the whole thing of they're already they're 10 points away or whatever. There's no way they can do this. They're just gonna the onside kicks always fail. They're just gonna hold the ball and just kneel. That's not the case anymore. If you can convert on a 4th and 15, you've got a shot at winning. And I got to tell you, I really want the NFL to adopt that particular rule, because that will make things so much more fun.
I'm saying the XFL is giving the NFL a run for his money for the first week alone. Like, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The one thing I want the NFL to adapt is the online the onside interviews, like after a fumble, after an interception, they go there and cut a promo.
It's very fan engaged.
Yeah, could you imagine people like a Jalen Ramsey or a Chris Jones, just talking trash after making a big play? I think it'd be great in the NFL.
They're definitely gonna adopt some of the rules and play style. I can see that happening.
I'll tell you one modification I'll make, because they had to apologize for it too, right? So they mic up the players, and something happens, you're not going to swear. I mean, so either let it go, don't try to mute it, just let the swears happen, or don't mic the players, because you're going to swear. It's live TV. Don't complain about it
It's
either.
bound to happen.
I don't want to hear announcers going, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." What do you think is going to happen? There's a grown man on the field getting busting his ass right now. Yeah,
It is in the moment too.
swear.
Yep.
Okay. So Matt, while you was gone, we was on a segment of asking the hosts questions. Um, Before I ask you the question you have for Amobi, make sure after we finish, we get to the questions the fans had and the pop ups and everything. So make sure we get everybody questions out there.
Yeah.
So Matt,
Well,
you got any questions for Amobi?
Well, before I'll do it before you before I ask mine. Samantha from the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. Come over. She says, out of all the teams you played for, which was the worst and why? The Texans. Just backstory. She's a Jaguars fan, so she's very sad.
The Buccaneers. My time with the Bucs was probably the least least experience. They're saying it right. Yes, because Greg Schiano was the coach then, and it just didn't work out for him. He tried to implement the college attitude to the NFL grown man, and it just wasn't clicking at all. So, that probably was the worst experience I had. Locker room, play wise, the city was good. The fans were great, but everything else, yeah.
And she also wanted me to say, your career isn't cut short. The chapter is just over. The book isn't. And she also said,
I love it.
She also said, reach out to Rashad Jennings. He wrote a few books as well. I'm sure he would love to help you. Right? He's all about inspiring stories. And my favorite part from him is the difference in NFL players and professional football players. One is celebrity, the other is inspiration.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah. So my question, Amobi, is, I don't know what the guys asked, but it's Black History Month, a very rich history month. What is the difference when you were in Nigeria to here? Like, did you know anything about Black History Month over there in Nigeria and then coming up here, or was it all new to you?
It was all new. To be honest with you. In 2020, when the BLL movement started and really took the whole woke movement, like that taught me a lot. A whole lot, because growing up in Nigeria, like history was taught, but it wasn't like emphasized compared to when I came here and the school system and so I learned a lot during that time, to be honest with you, and it opened my eyes. It definitely did open my eyes a lot.
All right, and one more. I know it's kind of hard to be inspired because you, like you said, you came. What was the age of 12 when you moved to America? Correct? Yeah. So who inspired you to start football, or was it something you're like, you know what, fuck it, I just want to beat some brains and.
Bro, I saw it once or twice when I was in Nigeria, because there was a show out there. And honestly, I was like, why are they jumping on each other? It doesn't make any sense. Like, what are they doing? So I didn't pay attention to it. Then when I got here, man, I started just eating crazy and was getting fat. I was already bigger than most of my peers, but I was getting fat. And I wanted to get back into some kind of extra sporting activity, and so I signed up for indoor track. And the coach for indoor track then was the head coach for football, but he wasn't the one that actually encouraged me to play. It was the D-line coach who ended up being a substitute for our homeroom. He looked, like I said, I was bigger, and he was like, he has some size on. You should come play football, and that's what started the whole interest level. And one of my best friends then, to today, then he was already playing, and he was like, "Nah, you don't want to come out there. You get broke." And that alone just fueled me enough. And I was like, not only am I coming out there to play, I'm coming out there to take your position. And he's a smaller cat, more of a skill player. And so he was playing wide receiver. That's all I knew. I just knew his position was wide receiver. And when I went out and signed up, I told the coaches, I was like, yeah, I'm here to play wide receiver. And they're like, okay, you see where the rest of those little big guys are? Yeah. Go over there. And man, just from there, found out I could get a scholarship. Just fell in love with it, and yeah, it's been just changed my whole life.
Awesome, good stuff, man.
Yeah, so actually, I just got back from Europe. I was part of this the military tour, visiting the troops out there, and man, it was fun. Just what they do for us, man. They're the real MVPs, man. And so I interacted with them, ran a few drills, like combine drills with the kids. It was some cheerleaders that went with us as well. They did some like chair stuff with the girls. Did like Q&A with the families, and just thank them for everything they do for us. And it was in Portugal, Spain, and Italy. So
awesome, man.
That was fun. It was. I just want to salute to the troops, man. Just thank them for everything they do for us, because once you're out there and you see them, you're like, man, we are privileged to be able to do what we do in the States, and they hold it down, overseas for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great right there, man. You always doing positive things, like VT mentioned before, positive things. You do a lot of great things for the community that people don't even much know. Pass food, the church, and everything. That's real good. So this is the saddest part of the show right here, because this is the end. So
man, I'm happy to be back on, man. I did to come back often, man. I enjoy this, man. It's fun, man. We gotta keep these boys entertained about these Texans. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, for sure. But before you leave, Amobi, tell the fans, tell the folks where they can find you and everything you got going.
Before we get to the end of the show, I'm sorry, I have to ask one more question here. I actually had a couple more questions. If you guys don't mind, indulge me, because I really am curious about this. All right?
Okay.
All right. So we talked about that you skipped school twice. We talked about that you came here at the age of 12. My parents, when they came over here, one of the things that they did was they emphasized school first. The Nigerian families that I know, they're the same way. You skipped school. Your mother was a teacher, and then you made the decision to not go to Harvard and go to Louisville. I just want to know, what did your mother say to you when you made that decision? Was she behind you 100%, or you said, "Boy, you're taking your ass to Harvard"?
My dad was the major one. When the letter came from Harvard and it came from other schools, he was like, this is Harvard. I was like, yeah, Dad, but their football program, I don't care about that. This is Harvard. So yeah, African parents, education. But the crazy thing about it is, so they went from that to now. I get the latest updates on what's going on in football from them. I literally get the dudes like, oh man, I found out about DeMeco getting the job from them than from anybody else. They called me like excited. Hey, we got DeMeco now, so things are about to change. So I'm like, oh my God, my parents are. This is the same people that were not advocates of me playing football at first. Not there. This is when I knew. That's when I knew there were things that had to completely change. When my mom, from the first game, she I went in high school when they came up telling her She go check out my brother and I that were pretty good in it. And they were just like, yeah, whatever. We just want them to do it to keep them busy. She said she went to a game, and in high school, obviously, you play offense, defense, you played everything. So we were on defense at first, and so everybody was screaming defense, defense. My mom joined defense, defense, and offense went on there, and she kept on screaming defense, defense. And my dad had to like pull her down, and like no. So it went from that to now they're telling me the latest news is going on in the NFL before I even find out about it. So they just
complete 180, man. Complete
exactly, exactly. But yeah, that's where to share that.
Oh man, shout out to your mom, amazing cook. I had the food before. Hey man, it's off the chain.
For sure,
Yeah, let her know. VT, you got some more?
Yeah, I have one more. So one of the things that I really wanted to see if you could explain to us is what does the free agency process look like? Because we all have kind of visions of, all right, you have agents and you're working with several different teams, could be 4 or 5 different teams. You're looking at offers in terms of money, and then you're probably looking to offers of what your contribution will be to the team. So I want to know, like, how do you weigh in all those things? The money, your contribution, what you will actually do to the team, where you actually will live, taxes, and like all of those different elements. How do you look at all that and make a determination of where you want to play?
It's a nerve-wracking process, to be honest with you, because you factor in a lot. You factor in a lot the team, the coaches, what kind of system they are in, the city, your family, how far away they're from you, because even though you're the player, everybody, it's like it takes the whole family, like like everybody like kind of helps in. So it's a lengthy process, but at the end of the day, it's kind of what you get done. The best thing to do is just pray over it, really pray over it, because at the end of the day, you're gonna always doubt your decision. Is the doubt always creeps in, regardless of how you feel about it. It's always gonna creep in and be like, man, did I make the right decision or not? So you just once you make it, you just pray over it and roll with it.
Okay.
VT, you good?
One more, I promise. This is the last one.
Go ahead, ask away.
Yeah.
All right. So I heard you say that when you worked with Kubak, that he had a man first, player second type of way that he treated you, and I know that DeMeco said the same thing, but could you elaborate on that? Like how did he treat you as a man first and a player second? Is there a story or something that you can somehow kind of resemble, like how that happened? I don't know how to understand that.
Well, it's necessarily just a respect thing. Like I'm gonna treat you like as in like I want to put myself in your shoes and try to see where your standpoint of things, where you're coming from. Like everybody always wants to see their vantage point of things and only believe theirs is their way. But like he would always want to see where you're coming from with things, and then assess how we're gonna deal with it after that.
Okay. All right. And I lied. I have a. We had Matt Schaub on the show, and he answered this question, and it was about the Andre Johnson and Finnegan fight.
I saw that.
So I guess if no one else has a question, we could end it on this. But can you talk us on what was the build up to that fight? What was your reaction, and what was everyone else's reaction in the room? And particularly, like, did you see that coming? Did you know that it was going to happen?
Yeah, because it had been it was you could tell it had been brewing, like brewing, and it just. Andre is a peaceful guy. It takes a lot to piss him off. Like it takes a whole lot. So, everybody has that break point. He reached that. He reached that break point where he was just like, enough is enough. Because honestly, that was the other side that nobody's ever seen before of Andre, and so yeah, it was. Cortland had it coming for him, man. I mean, so much you can poke a bear for so long and then expect not to get bit.
And he definitely got bit.
Yeah, yeah. I was just that all. I just remember sitting on the bench, and you could just tell he was coming. He was like,
Has anybody seen or heard from Courtney since then?
Now he's still buried down in the turf, bro. Like you didn't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like what is he doing in 2023? You know, what is he doing?
AJ knocked the soul out of him.
But okay, so VT, you sure you ain't got one more?
I'm good now, thanks.
Okay, Matt, you got one more anything?
I don't have a question, but Amobi Sam, the one who's been commenting, she agrees. We would like you to come on the AFC South fan battle on one Sunday if you have time. Just let us know if you're interested.
Okay.
You can help me. You can help me rag on these Colts, Jaguars, and Titans fans. You know, just let them hear it. You know,
let's do it, man. I'm down with that.
All right, awesome. I'll give you some more details on Instagram, bro.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. This is the saddest part of the show. We're about to end the show tonight. So Amobi, let the fans know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Just check me out on Instagram and on Facebook. It's just Amobi Okoye 91, and then Amobi Okoye Foundation. So it's all my handles right there, man.
Okay. Let the folks know where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me at A1 Day One Texans everywhere. And you also, like I was telling Amobi on now on Sunday nights at 8:30 Central PM. You can find me on the AOC South Fan Battle Podcast, where I try to check these fools. You know, they don't run nothing. So.
All right, VT, let the folks know where they can find your work.
You can find me at Brown Chubby Bear on Twitter. I'm running Spaces or a co-host of Spaces almost every day. You can find my rants on YouTube and my articles on TexansFanBattle.com.
Okay, and I'm your host, Fifth Ward Crenshaw. You can find me, whatever you can find me. So until then, good night. Thanks y'all for listening. Appreciate all the contribution to the fans and the guys here. And we out.
Go H-Town, baby.